I'll go first with my honorable mentions, right? Adam Cole.
Big mention.
Really like Adam Cole, but see like maybe 3 matches. Up, up, down, down got
Jeez.
him on this list for me.
I,
And I like Adam Cole, but just I couldn't put him in over these guys I've seen like their whole WWE careers and stuff. Bailey, very close to making it for me, but only 50 man, and she's been hurt a lot lately, so I've missed a lot. She's kind of out of sight, out of mind a little bit. But
think our lists are gonna differ pretty a lot.
on the mic though, Bailey is the bomb. Maybe one of the goats. Maybe the goat for female.
I feel like if you were like,
Kept pushing. But keep going. Matt Riddle. It's how we were talking about that earlier. Sorry. Can you guys hear the music playing in the background?
no,
Okay, cool. Matt Riddle, really funny, good wrestler, durable, reliable. RK Bro was like the hottest thing for a while, but couldn't put him in the top 50. Paige, one of the greatest songs ever in my opinion, was like the first woman to like come up in here. Well, second behind AJ in my opinion, and like make you like want to watch wrestling from the female perspective, you know. But kept her off. Johnny Gargano, same thing as Adam Cole. Up, up, down, down got him on here. His song got him on here. But he's always hurt, so that like hurts a little bit. I wouldn't say he's always hurt. On the main roster, he's always been hurt, so I can't go much off of. I did watch like a compilation of the Way stuff, so that stuff's hilarious. Mr. Kennedy, couldn't throw him in the top 50 for like 4 years of wrestling. I don't watch TNA, so that's why he didn't make it. But for sure, I think he potentially could have been like top 25. Chris Masters, same thing. Got off the roids and just didn't work from there on. So I couldn't really give Chris Masters top 50. And then last but not least, I named 2 other guys on here just because of up, up, down, down. Xavier Woods is honorable mention. Not
Okay.
just because up, up, down, down, but
So
would
we
you
need
put
a-
them
we
as
need
the
a-
New Day? Christian will love this. Cameron will love this. At number 50, you got to guess, Christian.
Goldberg.
Did you guys say the same guy?
he said Goldberg or something.
Goldberg.
Who did you say, Christian?
I said Goldberg.
Wow, that is so. What are the odds? Anyways, Planet Stasiak, bro. Number 50. I cannot see that man without laughing. I have like that little card thing saved in my computer because it's hilarious.
Dude, I feel like I can't make my joke now because I was legit when I got to number 1. I was gonna be like Planet Stasiak, but it's actually on your list.
No, like, if I'm being honest, maybe he wouldn't be, but like, I wouldn't mind seeing him, dude. Like, he's just that dude I always laugh when I see. So like, he's probably cemented at 50 for me. You could either be 49 and up or bust. So he's stuck at 50. From there,
Interesting.
this is more like a prediction. If he got released tomorrow, he probably wouldn't be in my top 50. But I'm going Montez Ford. I see a bright future for the man. I think he could be this generation's Rock. He's got the charisma. He can wrestle. High energy. No, I ain't got nothing else to say. He cuts a mean promo. 48, probably the same for him. If he got released tomorrow, I don't know if I could put him there. Chad Gable.
Dang, dude, your list is crazy.
Dude, in all of time, I don't know how many guys could wrestle better than Chad Gable.
I mean, that's fair.
Everything he does is like somewhat interesting. I'm never just like, oh man, Chad's on. You know, I don't really care. You know? So I gave Chad 48. Anything before I keep going?
I thought our list would be different, but it's starting off way different.
47. I was big on the guy, so I can't turn my back on him now that he's not in WWE. Cesaro.
I knew he.
When I was talking about those guys who might wrestle better than Chad Gable, Cesaro might be one of those guys. I just wish he could cut a like decent promo without Sheamus by his side. But yeah, Ken, turn back on him. So you said our lists are very different. This one's kind of close. You had Bobby at 42. I got Bobby at 46.
Fair.
I'm with you. I think it's more recency bias because I haven't seen Bobby do anything in probably like maybe a year. Like I can't remember anything he's
Yeah,
done.
Ever since like he got out of the feud with Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Bray got injured and that kind of like really stalled things, but apparently I have something to look forward tonight on SmackDown for Bobby. But like Christian was saying, Bobby was the man in like 2006 through 8. 9-ish. 45. I'm surprised he made my list, but I really started thinking about it. I went with Booker T. Booker T.
Okay.
Great song, always hilarious. Just as a kid, I was like, oh my god, dude, I freaking cannot stand this man. The King gimmick, Charmel, like, yeah, like, well, when I think back on Booker, I gotta at least give him top 50.
Yeah.
The fight in the mini market alone. This man has fallen down my list, if I'm being honest with you guys. I was really riding the wave, but Triple H has taken a gun to the character's head and shot him in the back.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were saying Triple H was in the 40s. I was like, oh no.
Austin Theory, bro. I loved Austin Theory, and Triple H is just not doing anything with him. That I thought I was on the bandwagon, bro, but like he's just not doing anything, and that's like what's fresh in my mind. So 44, I feel is fair. He's going to move up most likely, but he's entertaining, and that comes first for me. 43. This guy's kind of hanging on for dear life because everyone below him could pass him except for Booker probably. Dolph Ziggler.
And you all respect him, and you all admire him, and it should be me!
Dolph has really great moments, and then he has moments of doing nothing. So, like,
yeah,
that's why he's that's why he's in the 40s, because I just can't push him over the guys. When I say 42, you guys are probably going to be like, oh, come on, that contradicts what you just said. But I like Dolph at 43. 42. Give him anything, he'll hit a home run. Baron Corbin is the man.
Wow, top 50.
But
don't get me wrong, I love
I'm
Corbin
projecting
as like a worker, and like he has good gimmicks. Like he can make anything work, but
I want to look at my list a year from now and be like, pretty good list. So
see, I won't say you're contradicting because I do believe Baron Corbin is doing way more than Dolph is.
But Dolph has like greater runs, I would say. But I just
Baron's been way more consistent.
Exactly. That's like that's where I like drawing the line for that is Baron's always doing something at least. I'm gonna look you right in the eyes when I say this, Christian. Bray Wyatt.
I'm honestly surprised he made your list at all.
I like Bray. Bray does some good stuff, but he also kind of just be like getting hurt, man, and like sometimes his speeches are boring to me. When he was the Lantern Wyatt near the end, and the Fiend was cool.
I don't want to say too much because like I'll say more later, but you know, I feel like there's been some things that have hindered his career for sure.
Yeah. But he was good. I'm not going to disrespect the man. I'm not going to put Planet Stasiak over Bray Wyatt. I'll put Planet Stasiak over Daniel Bryan. I won't put him on.
Is Daniel Bryan not on your list?
That's how I'll end my first 10.
Then?
Oh, wow.
Shinsuke Nakamura. I feel like he's doing a little too much talking and not enough whooping. And that's kind of the problem with his character right now. And probably top 3 song of all time. That kind of plays a part for me in my ranking. But yeah, I love Shinsuke, man. It's Asian bias, but I don't care. 39. Since we can do teams, I'm putting the entire NWO at 39 because Scott Hall is carrying that entire group.
Your pick is Scott Hall.
Yeah, 39 is Scott Hall. But I don't know. To me, just looking, Scott Hall is like the coolest looking wrestler. As dumb as that sounds, he just like is cool. I know that shouldn't really qualify for a top 50 list, but I love his finisher too. The move Damian Priest is hitting right now. I can't remember what it's called right now.
Jackknife?
Is that what it's called?
No,
Jackknife?
that's
Kevin Nash.
Razor's Edge.
Yes,
Yeah.
Razor's Edge. That is the move. The whole riding in the convertibles was cool. That's just the word I keep using for Scott Hall. He was cool. You know. He really changed the business too with getting out of the whole like gimmick thing, going over to WCW, so I'll give him credit for that.
Whatnot.
It's funny you mentioned Impact because my number 38 guy tore him up to shreds on Impact, Samoa Joe.
He's fat!
Really great song. I'll probably start off everything by that. Can kill anybody on the mic. What he destroyed Jeff with that quick second, with that quick pretend this is an AA meeting and shut up. That is awesome.
Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group?
I mean, for a split second, I was watching his stuff, But obviously this man will never make my top 50, 100, 150, 200 list. When he was talking to Karrion Kross and Karrion couldn't hold up his end to me, I just didn't care, so I stopped watching the highlights on YouTube. But yeah, so Samoa Joe almost brought me back to NXT, but it's working with a bub. I said
Okay,
it.
but that was like Joe's second run in there.
I know what you mean, but I was just saying. That's how much I like Joe for a little bit. It's fair. I'm not opposed to it. It's just such a short run, you know, in WWE that I felt bad putting him over some of these guys. I feel like this is pretty fair for me because there was only like a 5-year window where I thought this man was like really cool, but not like great, and that is CM Punk.
Wow.
I like Punk. Kind of seems like it'd be hard to book him though, you know, because like I don't know how happy I can maintain him. Like I
Okay,
feel
wait,
like
was this the guy you were joking about with Seth? It was someone else, wasn't it?
it was CM Punk I was talking about.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about something else, but
But again, like I like CM Punk. He's controversial, which is good. But like, I feel like if I gave him like the thing he says, what he wished he main evented a Mania, it would be something else that bothered him after I gave that to him. So like, I respect him. He's good, but 37 is probably where I'd put him. Anything.
fair.
I do have one more thing. CM Punk, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, where he beat Cena for the title. That is the only time I ever bought a pay-per-view replay because I like couldn't believe it when I read that online. The good old days, reading the pay-per-views online, and I was like, dude, I gotta see what happened. And that's actually one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. So I'll give him that. Moving on from there, 36. And I think he will shoot up a little higher, but not too much by the end of his career. Finn Balor. Finn's another guy who I'm always interested in, but just happens to get hurt at the bad time. I don't love the demon stuff that much. It was cool for a little bit, but it kind of got old. This Judgment Day stuff, I think, is his best work, for me at least. And I hope they don't break up the group. And I don't want to talk about Finn too long, so do you guys have anything? So yeah, 36 for Finn. 35, my first woman, I think. Lita. I'm not gonna lie, thought Lita was a trash bag as a kid, but looking back on it now, Lita was pretty good, and she was very revolutionary for the woman. Even her stuff with S.A. Rios, I think, is cool. Yeah, I like Lita.
Song. Yep.
I don't know. That man, that myth, Kofi Kingston, SOS.
Fair.
He hears them shouting, bro. That's such a good. I mean, like we were saying earlier, if the New Day didn't exist, I think 4 is good for me.
Fair.
The Miz.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have
I want to put him higher, but like Christian said earlier, the hate in my blood is strong for that man as a kid. But I don't know. The Miz was always good, but the way I always see him was like a discount Chris Jericho. So like,
Wow, I've never heard it put like that.
that's just how I felt when he was like tag champs with Big Show. I was like, well, Jericho did that first, and like his U.S. run is kind of like Jericho's IC run. He's wearing suits and stuff. That's kind of what Jericho. That's just how I like look at the Miz. But the Miz is a different person than Jericho. I don't want to get twisted.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm pretty sure you guys aren't gonna like this, or at least Christian might not like this. But had he not just come back, he would probably been in that honorable mentions list. Maybe I wouldn't have even mentioned him. But I did love this gimmick, Stardust, Cody Rhodes. I got at 32, and
As much as I like Cody, like especially now, he's not on my list.
wow, really?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like he's popping right now, but I didn't want to like push him really high because of right now. So like 30.
That's where I'm at. Like, cause I'll admit I did not like him back then, so I couldn't put him on the list.
I liked Stardust. I liked him more than Ted DiBiase in Legacy. And then I like the mask thing when he broke his nose. But all that being said, he wouldn't have made my top 50 based on those.
Fair. His storytelling in the ring is a lot better.
That's fair. 31. This is like my first crush ever. So whatever. I know you guys aren't gonna like it. Trish Stratus, 31. Love Trish. We'll always love Trish. Don't care what you guys say. Fight me. Number 30. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Number 30. Undertaker.
Far off.
Yeah, so I was like, again, I like Undertaker and all, but like what you were saying, he just You need Undertakers. You need that guy who's always going to be there, who keep your locker room in order and all that jazz. But like, I literally can't name a match that I'm like, that Undertaker moment right there. I hate Badass American Taker.
Oh, yeah.
This is the
So-
worst song.
Rewatching that.
All right.
stink.
The funniest thing I can think back to that Taker is when he told Tommy Dreamer to drink his spit. And Tommy drank it and was like, oh, this is pretty good. And he was so disgusted. Yeah, all those reasons why I got him at 30. I respect him. You need him. But, like, he's just not. I don't think he's anyone's favorite except for Roberts at one point. I don't think Undertaker is anyone's favorite. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I will say this. If I was drafting, like, from an all-time roster, because I like to have, like, different, like, people, he probably would go top 5 for me. But probably 5. But anyway, 29. Again, this is where it all stemmed from. Bret Hart. Bret,
We're two off.
yeah, Bret is a really, like, cultural reference in wrestling. Like, I feel like if aliens were scanning Earth and they were going through the history of wrestling, Bret would pop up at some point pretty quickly. Like, even just think, off the top of my head, Bret's in the, like, intro for Malcolm in the Middle. And he was
Yeah.
on The Simpsons, you
I
know?
was- As soon as you said he's like a reference for wrestling, that's like what popped in my head was that
Right?
Malcolm in the Middle part. Yeah.
He always has good matches. He's not as bad as I think people say he is on the mic, but, like, he's not the greatest.
No,
Jardes, can
Like,
you jump up here one more time?
yeah, he's not terrible on the mic, but he like you said, he wasn't like a great promo.
Almost forgot about Mick, I'm not gonna lie. But once I remembered, I had to, like, move some things around. So,
Dang, 28.
I like Mick, but, like, really in the grand scheme, his time was kind of short. He did great stuff,
It
but, like,
depends when you started watching.
I mean, if I go back to, like, what, 95 was when he debuted, I think?
But like
the-
92, 93, he was like in WCW.
in ECW.
And then you have your
I didn't watch that
ECW
stuff, yeah.
and
That's what I'm saying. Like
Japan
it
and-
depends on when and what you started watching. But I
Mick
get
was
what you're
great. He was great. He's like Daniel Bryan, but like likable wise. But then he like does the extreme stuff, and you can't say Mick didn't put everything on the line, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and he's
lost an ear in a match.
really, he's such a nice guy. Looking at this now, my 27. Oh, did you guys have anything to say on Mick?
I'll get more later.
27. It's probably too high. It is too high, but it's my current crush, Liv Morgan. Yeah,
No way, bro.
I love Liv.
No, I can't. I can't. Look. 27.
I love Liv.
Okay, yeah, Jordan wins right now. Prize pick.
I love Liv, guys. I don't know what to say, man. I always root for Liv when she's wrestling. On Up, Down, Down, I always watch her videos. It's funny. I mean, she's funny to me, bro, and very attractive. I don't know what to, I don't know what to say. Owen Hart.
I didn't expect you to have him that high. I mean, I guess.
I
yeah,
love
but on
Owen.
here-
I think
fair.
I think Owen's the greatest king of the ring ever. I said it. No one has made Slammies more notable than him because, like, usually somebody wins a Slammy and then it's gone the next week. He brought that thing around for like a year. The man was so fearless, he filled up Vince's office with a bunch of pigs. He's hilarious, dude. I love him. And he's like really like the first cruiserweight, like in the Attitude Era. I mean, not first, but like the one who like could do it in the main event.
Yeah, I feel.
Right in front of Owen at 25, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. This whole run, I'm not gonna lie, maybe Roman would have been like 45 and under before this Tribal Chief run, but it's good, man. I'm interested. When I think somebody's about to beat him, I'm like, oh, and then when they don't, it's like, dang. When he beat Edge and Daniel Bryan, I was like, this guy, man. This is right then and there. I knew. I was like, man, this is a historic run. You know, like. I mean, he's done other stuff. I mean, even though he was my least favorite member in the Shield, the Shield, and, you know, the Rumble. I can't do the face, but that's fair. But the Tribal Chief has definitely pushed him up to 25 for me.
That's fair.
That's the perfect spot for where he can go lower or higher, and I won't be too upset about it.
Yeah.
He is, like, I swear, you close your eyes and just listen for a second, he's starting to sound like The Rock a little bit. All right, 24. I had every issue Christian did when he also ranked him. I just ranked him a little higher. Sami Zayn. And I'm just now noticing I put him right in front of Roman, but that was coincidence, I swear, on everything. But I had him higher, I had him lower. Like, he's the only name I had to erase a couple times. So, like, because, like, did not like Sami at all, if you guys remember. Hated his guts just as much as Daniel Bryan. But then, like, once he started changing it up and stuff, like, basically, he didn't pull Kevin Owens off the table when Shane was falling. He pulled himself off the table in my heart. He started getting better ever. But, like, even without the bloodline stuff, I think he would have been at least, like, in that 30 to 45 range. Because, that match with the Jackass crew, that's, like, a really good match.
That was probably one of my top, maybe 3 of that Mania.
Yeah, like, it was good. And that was just good Mania, and he was a part of it. And with the bloodline stuff, I can't drop him, you know? It's good. I like Sami at 24. I have Jeff Hardy at 23.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Matt's not on your list. Huh?
You say that like you say that like Matt's only, like you're not the only one who put Matt at their top 50.
Hey.
I'm just playing.
I feel like I made some good points for him.
He did. Overall, he's had a great career, like he said, but he's not in mine. Honorable mention. But Jeff, who didn't root for Jeff as a kid? Who doesn't like a comeback story, a redemption story? And Jeff was like, I can't think anybody else who had a top rope finisher before Jeff. For me, at least. He was cool.
Macho Man.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks. All right, Macho Man. I don't even know where I was going. All right, you know what, guys? Shut up. Jeff was cool. That's all I have to finish that now. You guys, the wheels aren't turning anymore on Jeff. I can't think of anything anymore. Wait, one more thing. When he came back the first time, feuded with Umaga, Randy, and them. That's prime Jeff for me. Hardy Boy stuff before is cool. When he came back the second time, that was cool. But that like 06 to like 10, 11, that's prime Jeff for me.
Right.
22, Kane. It's kind of funny that we both had Kane over Undertaker, but
Yeah.
Mass Kane, probably the scariest wrestler ever. Like especially as a kid, your favorite was facing Kane. You're hoping Kane doesn't murder them, basically. And then Unmasked Kane, that dude's just a menace. Throwing Paul Bearer in the freezer, throwing Paul Bearer down the stairs, choke slamming, electrifying Shane and setting Jim Ross on fire. Kane was just a bad guy. He just never won. So like, popping out at Edge and Lita's wedding, you could always use a Kane, but I think if he was world champion, it kind of doesn't work also. So, like, it's that strengths and balances or whatever. I don't know exactly the phrasing is, but yeah, Kane, 22. 21. Doubt he's on your list. Doubt he's on Robert's list. Maybe he would have made Cameron's list. I have a shirt of him. It's like my favorite gimmick of all time. It's at least up there. Mr. Perfect.
He would definitely make Cameron's list.
I love Mr. Perfect, man. Although the Perfect Plex isn't the greatest finisher of all time, when he does a suplex, it looks pretty cool. And the
I was
arch.
gonna say, in his time, it was like people were like, "Whoa, that was tight."
If he didn't have those freaking back injuries, man, and wasn't on drugs, Mr. Perfect was that dude. He's hilarious also backstage. They say one time during a Rumble, he had like some of that like crap smelling water stuff. And he kept spraying it during the Battle Royal, so everyone like stopped for a second and was like, "What's going on?" Like, he's just
Shit their pants.
basically somebody thought they did in the ring. But I love Mr. Perfect. That dude is hilarious, and he just has that look to me. The spit the gum slap thing, that is so much harder than it looks, but he did it so effortlessly. It's good, man. 20. Didn't make Christian's list, made mine. Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, I knew he'd be high on yours.
That's his jester right there. But RVD, man, I don't know. I just always thought he was cool. He looked different from everybody, especially back then, wearing the singlet and knee pad and stuff. He looked like he could give anybody a tough matchup at least. Like from the Big Show to Stone Cold. You maybe didn't always think he would win, but he was always interesting. One of the best theme songs of all time, in my opinion. Yeah. Can't cut the greatest promos, but he looks like he could whoop you, so that's how I'd go with.
Did you see him in AEW?
No, Robert was telling me about that, and I was like, I just get a little sad when I see RVD now, because he's like he looks like fat, and like back then he was like cut, bro. Like maybe I just can't remember as well. I always liked the guy. 19's very fair. I feel like sometimes we say guys' names and people just get upset over it. Triple H, I got at 19. He's great. He's built a lot of careers, but 19, man. Like, I can't say I was always rooting for Triple H. He was a great bad guy. I appreciate him. 19, that's where I got him. 18, you guys' heads are probably about to detach from your bodies. I like the guy.
You already did that with Liv Morgan.
18,
I don't think anything's going to be more surprising than that. But I could be wrong.
AJ Styles. I have at 18. He's great. Really good.
I get why he's not higher on yours.
He's never done anything where I was like, oh man, this is boring. I'm not interested. You know, AJ's always interesting.
I thought you were going to say he's never done anything that great. I was like, no, okay, I'm logging now.
You don't make my top 20 if you don't do anything great.
Yeah.
But, yeah, AJ, he's just, he's really great. I don't have anything bad to say about him. But
Fair.
he just doesn't have those hours logged in like some of the guys ahead of him for me yet. From my eyes. I didn't watch TNA.
Okay, his WWE run is as long as The Rock's.
All right, so give him some more time, and maybe he can pass The Rock. 17, really great. I wish he's had a couple more main title runs, maybe just title runs in general. I don't like his current character much. Kevin Owens, really great. Always hilarious, except for right now where he's just screaming. But they're just like kind of corny right now. I can see why they didn't put the title on Sammy, because like this right here, you know, you reach the mountaintop and then like there's nothing to do from there. But yeah, Kevin Owens pop-up powerbomb too, like top 5 finishing move. But
Yeah, I'm mad that it took a side seat to the stunner. But
I mean that just says alone that's how much respect Kevin Owens has. He's the only guy who's hit the stunner since Stone Cold. Like, come on.
yeah,
Anything guys?
there'll be more later.
Yeah.
16. This is how I would like to announce it.
Hey, I thought he'd be top 10.
I wanted to, but it's so long ago now, and he's not here to talk for himself. So I love Eddie, but 16 is where I can put him with him being gone for so long at this point. And like you said, documentaries help, and he's not here to do them. So like, don't get to see him as much off screen, but in the ring, I don't think you can be better in the ring than Eddie. You could just be as good. And the mullet, bro. The mullet is the coolest looking dude, man. And I love Eddie, bro. Anything. 15. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm living in the moment. But big fan of this person, and that would be Asuka. I love Asuka, guys. The song, the appearance, the appeal, the mask. She's, in my opinion, like the greatest wrestler in the ring for females. I got her at 15 down. The women are kind of on a curve for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a different tier system kind
Yeah,
of.
because like when like the Triple H thing, maybe I would want to see Triple H promo over an Asuka match or something. But then I think about it where I'm like, in the women's class, I'd like much rather see Asuka than like Triple H with all these other great males as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's back to that Undertaker thing where I would say he'd be like a top 5 pick. Like Asuka would be one of my top 10 picks just because I need good women also.
Yeah, I get you.
And it's not it's gonna sound blasphemous when I say this. Super underrated. Brock Lesnar, bro. Like you were saying earlier, Brock selling is top tier.
I tell everybody he's the most underrated seller like ever.
Nobody makes you look tougher than when you're beating up Brock. When Brock, like Samoa Joe, when Samoa Joe put the fear in Brock's eyes and stuff, like that's crazy. Or when he put Drew over with all the Claymore kicks. I mean, sometimes it doesn't look great. Like, it's hard for Brock to sell to like Seth because it just doesn't look right great every time. But when Brock's in there with like another like somewhat big guy, Brock looks like he's getting destroyed, bro. Like that's how much Brock sells.
I thought he sold pretty well for Seth.
He did. It just doesn't like optically look as like devastating.
Say something stupid.
You know?
Well, see, and I also think he's really good at playing like shocked hurt, like when like Daniel Bryan hit the knees. like he was
like you said, this current iteration of Brock is making me like him even more. Like mowing over the ring with the tractor, and like he's just cool, man. And then like 02 Kurt with, I mean 02
I don't
Brock
give a
with Kurt
about your kids.
He was that dude.
oh yeah, yeah, literally one of my favorite feuds.
13. You bite your lip when his music is playing. Shawn Michaels. Dude, as a kid, it always felt like he was about to lose or win. The kip up thing, like that was so nice. And like it was so special back then, because Shawn was like the only Shawn. Now it feels like everybody's like an iteration of Shawn, and that's like what also kind of hurts him a little bit. But Shawn was hilarious. The Montreal screw job, like fake Bret Hart thing when they went back when he was feuding with Hogan. That's hilarious. The crowd, the crowd wanted to string that man up. That's how pissed they were. His
like, I got you just a little bit.
like when he went on like, what was it? Letterman? No,
It was
the old dude,
Larry King.
Yeah, when they were spoofing that, and he was Hulk Hogan, and he's
the brothers.
Shawn makes me laugh, man. The DX stuff I think is like cheesy, corny. That's like my least favorite Shawn stuff, but Shawn's good, man.
Yeah,
That's I feel like that'd be an unpopular point of view.
DX being my least favorite version of Shawn.
Yeah, that could be a controversial pick.
I stand by it.
I will say, especially the second run of their DX, they were super cringy. They were
I actually like that
in
run
like
better.
Really?
Than
They were
the
guys
first
in
one.
a midlife crisis. It seemed like.
It was funny.
I think that's what made it so funny, was they were trying to relive their glory days, and
they had good feuds, dude. The Spirit Squad isn't great on like by itself, but with DX it was kind of working. And then Edge and Randy, you know.
And one of my favorite things with Shawn from that time was when he going along the hallway super kicking everybody in sight.
Including Ty Dillinger.
My favorite memory of that like iteration of like DX and Shawn was when they triple threat main event at Mania against Cena, and as soon as the match started, he super kicked.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that was so tight. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's not a good memory to have, but it's like right before DX. I think it's hilarious and very heelish, and why the Vince McMahon character is such a great heel. But when it was 2-on-2 Vince and Shane versus Shawn and God, and they had the light coming down. Like, I mean, it's messed up, but it's hilarious to me. All right, 12. You're gonna go crazy. Cameron's gonna go crazy. Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro. Like
12.
I love Stone Cold, but like his time is short too, and I love Stone Cold, but I mean 12 is good. Knocking on the door.
How is he not? I don't even want to hear who you got above him. Like there's some guys that act like, yeah, it's cool if you have above him, but 11 other people.
It's my personal favorites, bro.
I get it.
He's great. If there was like an all-time draft, because I know how much people love him, he'd go 1. But
I'll get to when I get. I'll get to.
He's great. I just like these 11 better.
All right.
There is a female on here who probably shouldn't be ahead of him, but I was like playing it fair by that curve thing I was talking about earlier. But
yeah, I don't know any woman you like more than Asuka, so I'm like interested to hear who it is.
There's one. Favorite Stone Cold memory. I don't have one because they're all really good, but he's great, man. I can't pull out one memory, but maybe when he like took down all of DX, like catching Billy Gunn in the bear trap, and all that stuff was good. All right, 11 and 10 could be switched. So when we do this vice versa thing, I'll just go again because these two are pretty like intertwined for me.
Okay.
11, John Cena. John's great. He's really great. He put in the hours. He was the face. He held WWE afloat. I'll give him all that. But he got a little stale for me. It just like he was, you know, he changed, and he didn't have to change much. He adapted, but it's just like, how much did he really change from when he got drafted to Raw to right now? You know, like
grew his hair out and started balding a little.
He could sell matches, but yeah. So I got him 11, and you guys might be a little surprised. I got Batista at 10, and that's why I say they could be traded spots. But like I think the movie career helped Batista jump John for me, because it's like a little bit extra, and I get to see see him more. So like I know his character a little more, and he's making some banger movies. He's funny, but his wrestling stuff alone, like Evolution was the bomb, man. John doesn't have like those moments with like a faction or something. He's kind of just always solo, you know. My 9, you guys know how I feel about him. A year ago, he was in my Mount Rushmore for favorite wrestlers. It's the funniest wrestler of all time.
R-Truth.
Christian.
Ted Christian?
I love Christian, bro. It's my favorite.
I mean, you've always talked about Christian, so I shouldn't be that surprised, but I guess I kind of forgot about him until now.
One of the greatest songs. He's really innovative when it comes to ladder matches. I think he gets slept on a little bit. He's a great supporting guy. No one has like ever had a bad match with Christian. And like I said, man, this dude is so hilarious, bro. The Edge and Christian podcast alone probably pushed him up to top 10. He probably would have been like somewhere between 40 and 25-ish, somewhere in that area. But dude, when I see Christian outside of the ring is hilarious, bro. I freaking love Christian. That line he said to Jungle Boy, harsh.
I mean, at least we could both agree. Wait.
When they were playing poker with the APA and he lost, he started like having a hissy fit. He's like, all right, I'll go again. Number 8, my last female, my favorite female wrestler of all time. Dramatic pause. Alexa Bliss.
I knew that was coming.
Wow.
Even though stupid Alexa always hears my name when I say her, or always starts talking when I say her name. I love Alexa Bliss, dude. She's like the best heel female. Shut up! Oh my god. She's like the best female heel in my opinion. She's little, and she like, instead of that being like something against her, she made it like work for her.
Yeah.
And bro, I mean, who doesn't like looking at Alexa Bliss? Her being on Up Up Down Down too, with like the World of Warcraft stuff. Not World of Warcraft. Dungeons and Dragons, when they were playing that, actually made me click into those videos. And then I was like, man, I actually want to try Dungeons and Dragons, you know. And she like kind of started that, so that's why I gave her my top woman spot, which is 8. But if I'm being fair, I mean, I guess technically I like Christian, Batista, John Cena, Stone Cold more than her. But
yeah, I get you. I will say, if we did like an all women's one, Alexa would be pretty high on mine.
7, it's Kurt Angle. Kurt nowhere he would not have been close to my top 50 as a kid because I hated him so much. This man was so good. No, he was so good. As a kid, you thought you could whoop an Olympic gold medalist because he was always getting stomped. But no, man, Kurt is just way too funny, dude. That promo he cut on like that fake interview he did with The Rock. Is hilarious, man.
Dude, yeah, that's so good.
And all his little shenanigans. Sure, he's a piece of monkey crap and a jabroni. Whoa, that's a little stiff, isn't it, Rock?
Chris getting like right up in his face when he was talking about when he was talking to Eddie about him. It's so funny. Kurt can just like have this such dumb guy look on his face, and like you actually believe that's how dumb Kurt is. It's just the best. But he always beats your favorite wrestlers, man. That's how he could turn it on like that. He was that good.
Yeah, Kurt was the man. I'll have more to say about him later.
6, I got Seth Rollins. I don't love his current character. I think he's kind of like soured it.
It's so funny because I feel like most people you ask would say he's on the best road of his career.
I am so sick of this character. All he is the freaking conductor in a band, and like that's literally what his whole character is at the moment. And then, but right before that, when he was laughing in everyone's face, like that year 1 build-up or day 1 build-up when he was supposed to face Big E, hilarious, man. Like where he was like, first Kevin cried his way into the match. Then Brock bullied his way into the match, and then Bobby, all these guys just kept jumping in. It was hilarious. Seth, and he's a good wrestler. He can like go with anybody.
Yeah.
Messiah was good. Shield was good. He was just good. Seth's the man to me. Best chance to get in my Mount Rushmore.
Very fair.
Yeah, Seth will like cry about it a little bit, but he never lets it get in the way of his work, and he will still make it work. whatever he's given, he'll try to make it work at least.
Okay.
But back to you.
Right.
That's funny because Edge is my 5. Rated
Okay.
RKO till the end, I guess. But
Right.
so this is where the list gets like very confusing for me, because like I don't like Edge more than Christian, but like I give him the tiebreaker because like I have more memories with Edge. But I can't put Christian above Seth and Kurt because like you know what I mean. I like those guys better. But you know that's where like it all starts to be that Robert's tournament bracket thing we were talking about earlier. One guy beats one guy, but that guy who lost beats this guy who's above, you know. So it's kind of a jumble here, but Edge at 5, that is such dastardly heel, man. Only Edge, you can like be like, this dude did. No, he did not just ruin Undertaker's defense against Batista. It was a good tie. This was new, and then this dude comes out. He took Mr. Kennedy's briefcase. Only Edge can lose the world title in an elimination chamber just to come back later, give Kofi a concerto with the stairs, take his spot, win the WWE title. Like
I will say that's my favorite Edge moment.
like,
That's my favorite. That night was. I was like, man, that was cool, and like that hasn't been done before or done since. So.
he's such a dastardly heel, man. Like that's the word for Edge. Like this current Edge is cool, the grit Edge and all, but doesn't even hold a candle to the rated R superstar, man. Like a live sex show celebration. Who does that? You know?
He was the first Money in the Bank. And had great cash in.
Like everything compares to that cash in. You know?
Yep.
So that's why I got Edge at 5.
Fair enough.
Even him getting choke slammed, like through the ring, and then another Edge pops up, Kurt Hawkins, and then another Edge pops up. He's a creative dude, man.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. I couldn't kick him out of my Mount Rushmore. He was my number 3, but I had to switch him. I don't know if I'd even be a wrestling fan if it wasn't for The Rock, man. The Rock was so cool to me, and like I can't remember wrestling as a baby, obviously. So like my first like memories of wrestling is Hollywood Rock, and oh my god, that dude is so funny. Like my brother and I were watching the Lakers Kings series, so when he did the thing like months later after the Lakers had already won, it's like oh my gosh, I can only imagine how mad the Kings fans are. Or like when Stone Cold was kicked out of the building and he's just following him with all the security playing the guitar, and then when Stone Cold turns around, he like starts shrivels up like a cat or something. Oh my god, I love that Rock. And then like, there's just so many moments for the Rock that make me laugh. Like when he's beating up Stone Cold, and then he starts recording the audience with the camera, and then he turns and Stone Cold has the like double birds in his face. I love the Rock, man. The Rock. I really don't know if I'd be a wrestling fan if the Rock didn't exist. So
Fair.
that's why he's number 4 for me.
Okay. I can't be mad at it.
All right, 3. I would say this guy is the LeBron James of WWE. Like, he has the resume, he has the longevity, but, like, I don't think anyone calls him the GOAT.
Okay.
Shot at LeBron right there. But, like, honestly, if this guy... Like, I think you can give him anything and it'll work, but, like, you can't count on him to make it. Like, to write the script and, like, this is what we should do. And that would be Randy Orton. I got Randy at 3.
Yeah, I'm glad you have him. Top 3 is a good place for him, but I don't like that.
If like I had a great writer for him, that's why I think he'd be the number 2. Because like whoever you take 1, you want him feuding with Randy. And then I'll go with the Nothing You Can Say. That's the greatest Randy of all time. I don't care what anyone says about this Venom stuff. But moving on from there, number 2. All right, 2. I mean, he was just always my favorite as a kid until number 1 came back. But who didn't want a Rey Mysterio mask, dude? Like, seriously? As a kid, man, you know how, like, jealous you are? Like, just watching and he gives out a mask every week and you're like, damn, if only that. You know, I would love that mask.
I wish that was me.
But, like, I love Rey, man. He was little. He was relatable. Didn't cut the best promos. I'll give him that. But the masks, man, they're good. And I don't think he cuts bad promos. Just he's the perfect tag partner for like any wrestler. He's no Kofi Kingston when it comes to being a tag partner, but Ray and Batista was a great mix. Ray and Eddie was great. Just you can basically plug in Ray with anybody, and you feel sympathy for Ray, and the bad guy will be elevated. I mean, Straight Edge Society. Ray's probably like their best antagonist they went up against, maybe.
Besides Jeff.
Did the whole Straight Edge Society go up against Jeff, or was it just CM Punk? 'Cause I don't remember the rest being there.
Maybe you're right.
But yeah, Ray,
Okay.
number 2.
I mean, like I said, I respect Ray, and he's like the greatest, Mexican luchador wrestler ever, most likely. But he just was never like, I was never a huge fan of him.
Jericho, you guys know me. So, I will say this. Every day I wake up, I like Jericho a little bit less. He's getting a little old. He's starting to feel like he's really up his own butt lately. I feel like
when all the people we looked up to.
I feel like he was at his best when he had like a boss over him. I feel like he just does what he wants now, and like Robert says, he tries to be a little too hip, and his physique isn't very believable. Like you can be Joe and like have a gut, but like still move and like your stuff looks good. Jericho kind of just looks like bigger. Like I remember when he came back at the Greatest Royal Rumble, I was like, dang, bro, huge. And then I don't know, like he's doing a lot. Imagine if like John Cena had a new finisher like every 5 years. Like what even is the code breaker now? He's doing that like Judas effect
So
like Walls of Jericho doesn't.
This is your number one.
It is, but I'll get into. I mean, all right. When he first, I always liked Jericho. Like, let's say he was done after like the first retirement with the Cena thing, he would have been in my top 20. But like when he came back, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Randy Orton had a guy running from where Raw was the last week, allegedly, ran all the way to where they were this week with the torch like the Olympics. And then when he got inside the building, the code thing ended, and he ran into a clothesline, and the camera zoomed out, and it was Jericho standing there back like that. And he went right into a feud with Randy. I was like, man, this guy's cool. So that face run would have pushed him up to like top 15. But when he turned heel and started calling everybody hypocrites and was actually winning matches and became the world champion and stuff and was the world champ and the tag champ, he was the man, dude. Like, you could not tell me anyone was going to beat Jericho. And then, like, when he started talking trash about beating Rock and Austin on the same night, I was like, oh my God, bro. Gracie. And, dude.
Anything to say about Jericho?
To me?
Nah, Gracie.
But, yeah, I mean, I could just talk forever about why Jericho's my favorite, but he's the man, dude. His tag run with Christian, and they, like, Christian pretended to be Jericho in the Rumble, and then Jericho snuck in the ring and, like, destroyed Shawn and bloodied him up and eliminated him. Nice. I love Jericho, man, but I like him a little less every day.
It's that whole tarnishing their reputation. Some guys just need to learn that they need to step away and stay away.
I mean, I don't want to not see Jericho anymore. I just